So we start doing this dance. Well, Emma was always about this big trick. She wanted to do some big trick to impress the judges. So she goes, all right, Bill, here's what I want you to do. I want you to lay me down, pick me up, spin me out. I'll spin back in. You lift me up, push me out. I'll whip around your waist, and you catch my legs. And I went, okay. Yeah, you're going to die. Because I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm not really good at this. She goes, don't worry, I'll be there. I'm like, okay, it's your life. So we get to that part, and I lay her down, pick her up. I spun her out. She spun back in. I lifted her up. I pushed her out. She whipped around my waist, and I caught her legs, and I went, oh, my God. I'm getting this. Oh, yeah, there's going to be Bill Engvall dance studios across the country. So we keep rehearsing this dance. Well, she goes, all right, let's do it one more time, and we'll go home for the day, because we've already been there like 6 hours. So we got to that point. I laid her down. I picked her up. I spun her out. She spun back in. I lifted her up, and I got her to right here, and her legs were pointed straight up. And I'm starting to get tired. And I let her slip that much. And then I took my step that I had to do, and she shifted her weight to whip around me. And when she did, I heard a noise come from my crotch. That was somewhere between a scream and a tear. I had torn my groin. Oh, I hit, and they're filming everything. I'm on the ground grabbing my crotch, rolling around, screaming. Emma learned a whole bunch of new American cuss words. And I've felt pain like this in my life. In fact, fellas, if you've never torn your groin, allow me. Go home tonight, take out your hunting knife, and put it in the flame, and let it get glowing red hot, and then just jab it right in your crotch. That's kind of what it feels like. They had to call Gail to come get me because I couldn't even walk. This happened on a Friday. We're shooting the show on Monday. Saturday morning, I called little Emma, and I said, sweetheart, we're done. I said, I can't get out of bed. And she goes, well, I just want to make sure you're okay. And I said, I'm fine, baby. I said, but there's no more dancing. She goes, well, I got to call the producers. I said, well, do what you got to do. So she calls the producers. Well, then the producers called me, and they said, well, we'd like to bring our doctor over. Okay. He's a doctor of pain management. When I was in college, we called him Dr. Feelgood. Yeah. So Saturday morning, I'm laying on my couch with an ice pack on my crotch. They show up with producers, a camera crew, this doctor. And he starts examining. He goes, yeah, you tore your groin. I said, yeah, I kind of figured I did. I guess we're done, hon. He goes, no. I said, what do you mean, no? He goes, I'm going to give you an injection. I said, you ain't sticking a needle anywhere near there. Yeah, right? I'm 58. I got enough issues with it as it is. I don't need a needle being jammed around in there. No little pill's going to fix that. So he gives me an injection in my thigh, and the pain went bye-bye. Monday morning, it took me 2 hours to get ready for this stupid show. I was wrapped, strapped, taped, shaved, gelled, you name it, wearing pantyhose to hold it in place. And we somehow got through the cha-cha, and we got like 2 6s and a 7. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know if I just had resigned myself to the fact that we were done and I didn't care anymore, but we went into the Argentine tango and we just drilled it. I mean, it was the highest score we ever got. We got like 2 9s and an 8, I think. And so we're standing there at the end of the show, and I literally am standing like this because I can't put weight on my leg. But this time, we're up against Val and Elizabeth, and they had just gotten 3 10s, a perfect score. So we're standing there like this, and the announcer goes, Bill and Emma, you've had below average scores. All right, do we have to keep bringing that up, really? It's like your kid going through high school getting all D's, and they go, at graduation, well, I don't know how he did it, but here's his diploma. They said, Bill and Emma, you had 2 7s and a 6, average score. Did your fans blow enough to keep you on? Val and Elizabeth, you got 3 10s, a perfect score. Did your fans vote enough to keep you on? And I whispered in Emma's ear, I said, sweetheart, we're done. She goes, yeah, I'm afraid so. And I said, look, babe, we walk out of here with our heads held high. I said, we got further than we thought we'd get. We got further than anybody in the free world thought we'd get. So we walk out of here proud. And she goes, you know what? You're right. And we look in the camera and they go, Bill and Emma, you're in the finals. Oh my God. What? Well, now I'm convinced Gail's involved in this. Well, yeah, she can't just kill me outright because then she'd go to prison. But if she's paying y'all to vote and I have a heart attack and die on this stupid show, they just call it a tragic accident. Well, that night after we did the Argentine tango, my body was shot. I mean, I was shut down. This was me getting into bed. I literally would back up against the bed and then just lay down like a board because that way nothing hurt. And we're in bed and Gail said, sweetheart, I got to tell you something. I said, what? And she goes, I am just so proud of you. She goes, I know this wasn't in your comfort zone, but you did it and you put your heart into it and you gave it 100% and your fans saw a side of you they'd never seen before you. She goes, you should be really proud and I'm really proud of you. I said, thanks, sweetheart. And she turns off the bedside light. Like a second later, the light comes back on and she goes, I got to say one more thing. And I said, what? And she goes, you know that Argentine tango? And I said, yeah. And she goes, that was friggin' hot. And I know what she wants to do. And normally I'm all in. But I was like, all right, but you're on top because I can't move. All right. Well, now we're in the finals. And Emma is out of her mind giddy. She's like, Bill, this is the finals. This is my first year as a pro, and we got to the finals. You got us to the finals. I said, no, I didn't. My sick fans did. And she goes, this is the big dance, Bill. This is the big dance. We can do whatever we want. I go, no, we can't. She goes, what do you mean? I go, honey, I'm 58. I've got a torn groin, a pulled hamstring, a bad knee. We can't do whatever we want. She goes, all right, well, I'll keep that in mind. I go, please do. She goes, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to dance to Raiders of the Lost Ark. And the way it's going to start is you're on the second floor balcony and you're going to swing in on a rope. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, why not? Why not? If I go off in an ambulance, it'll be big press. Well, thank God we finally got eliminated. And by the way, I joke with you, but thank you for voting because it was one of the funnest things I've ever done in my life.